So this time we will record this session so that whoever could not join, they can make use of this one. So we have good count at this point of time. So uh, anyone is here who have joined, who attended my technical analysis sessions.
Yes, Raghu. I done. I have done.
All right. So let me start now. So whoever have not joined any of my technical classes, so the this is for them first, that when I do my technical analysis, what things I take into the consideration. Uh, everyone can hear me neat and loud, right?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So I want to give you guys some, shortcuts, which will be useful for your, swing trading or positional trading or investing. Okay. So first of all, when I do technical analysis, I use TradingView. This is the web software which I use. It's completely free, right? And in this, there are multiple watch lists which I have created, right? For example, here you can see crypto, day trade, earning plays, right? Long-term investment, momentum, training, index check, you index, and then stocks, right? So whenever I do analysis on any of the stock, right? First, I do analysis on the index, right? Because for me, my setup is I need, okay, let me tell you. So for my setup, what I do, so for me, I need my index. Suppose if today I'm looking for a buy side, right? So I would look for the index for here, example, just a moment. Bear with me. Okay, just a moment. Right here, why this brush is not coming? Fine. So for my technical analysis, if I'm on a buy side, then definitely I need to check the index first. What index is saying? If index is on upside, right, then definitely I will be looking for the stock who is showing me the strength for that day, right? So first of all, every day, or once in every week, I do analysis on the index first, and I see the market direction where the index is going to go. So today we are going to do the live analysis on the index, right, for the next week. Okay, and we will note down the levels here, and we will see whether those levels got respected for the entire week. All right. So here, whenever I do the analysis, first I will go here and I will do the analysis on the Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and US 500, S&P 500. But my most focus will be on Dow Jones and uh, Nasdaq. So let's see what Dow Jones is saying, right? So this was the chart I drawn. Now let's make it clear first so that everybody can understand where it is going, right? So this is the day chart. Whoever joined my class before, they know the setup. The setup is, it will be having the RSI here, and the volume bars and the candlestick pattern, right? Candles, and the time frame is a day time frame, right? So now here, if you see, the very first thing you see here is the RSI is completely exhausted, or I will say not exhausted, but RSI is kind of upper end. So high probability that, from here, as I said before in my classes, that when RSI goes above 70, right, then the stock or index is on oversold zone, right? I'm meeting you all. Whenever somebody wants to say something, they can unmute themselves. Okay. So, uh, right. So, whenever we analyze any stock or any index, first and first important thing we need to see is RSI. Many times we don't look at RSI, but RSI gives us, a lot of uh, RSI gives us very important information that whether the stock is oversold or stock is at overbought zone, right? Right now, if you see the index, right, not looking at the price action or not looking at the candles, you will see the RSI is quite at upper end. For example, if you select this candle, here you will see the RSI is 71. See, here I have selected the last candle. You can see at left downside here it's mentioned as 71%. You can see here, right? So this says that RSI is quite in the overbought zone. Okay. I'm not saying that if RSI is at overbought zone, then index will start, falling from the next day, right? Sometimes RSI stays at 70 levels, okay, and index is still performing. For example, if you see here, RSI was above 70, but index was making highs, right? I mean, here, if you see from here, right, from the candle of the 12th March, you can see the RSI was at peak, right? And then 13th March, 15th March, RSI was still at peak. Then 16th March, 17th March, and on 18th March, the index made its high, right? 52 weeks high, and then started sliding down. And from here, it started sliding down here. RSI got, relaxed a bit. And from there, RSI again started picking up, right? So here, now as we are doing analysis on Dow Jones, okay, current price action says that the Dow Jones is still in the bullish mode, right? Why? Because if you see the candle, this candle, right? This candle says that the index opened at 33526 here. Okay. Here, open, high, low, and close. Here, if you see, index says that it opened at 33526. It made a low of 33526. Same, right? Means in the morning at 6:30 PST, 6:30 a.m. PST time, when index opened, from that it just started making highs. It didn't go down from there, right? So, and till the entire day, it closed at the highest point of the day. If you see, the difference between high and the close is just 8 points. The high was 33810 and close is 33800. So it's kind of bullish Marubozu candle. Okay. So this says that there is strong uh, buying happened in the index. Okay. So this was the price action, right? And before that, if you see the three candles, right? The first candle is spinning top, the second one here is doji, and the third one is hammer, right? So all these three candles, if you see these three candles I'm talking about, these three candles, right? All these three candles, if you monitor it very if you focus them, you will see that from the bottom this just buying it started happening. Here also from the bottom buying started happening. So the I mean, whenever the index is going down, buying pressure is coming in, right? So at this point of time, we will say that index is in super bullish mode still. Okay. Now, so what is the, where index will go from here, right? So if you would have seen my last analysis, there have I have mentioned that it was kind of flag pattern index has created, and then it got a breakout. So if you see here, this is the trend line, right? Index has created kind of flag pattern. Okay, and from here if you see, the trend line is this one. Okay, kind of trend line is here, or you can say from here, it was kind of like this, right? It was a kind of flag pattern here, right? And or you can say like this, right? If you draw like this, okay, so this is a kind of flag pattern. And if you see the bottom of it, this we can draw as a pole, and this is a flag pattern. All right, so I mentioned that the index has power to go 33500, 34,000 and 34,500, right? So it has almost achieved our first target, and it is sorry, it achieved our first target, and it is going towards almost our second target. So if you see here, so if you see here the analysis which we did on 329, that Dow Jones has small support at 32750, 32850. As I mentioned last week, it's high chance to go towards 33,500, 34,000 and 334,500. That time index was at 33,000. So it almost went 2.5% from the levels which we mentioned. So we mentioned the first target as 33500, 3400. So it's currently at 33800. Now, how I derived this target, right? So as you know, whenever there is a flag pattern, whatever is the size of the pole, that is going to be shown once there is a breakout. So here if you see, here this is the price range. Okay, now from here if I draw the price range right from here, so this is the pole size, right? So this pole size is almost 2663 points, right? So whenever there is a flag by breakout, there is high probability that uh, the index or stock will go the X point. I mean, the whatever is the size of the pole, it has high probability to go up after doing a breakout. So for example, here, after this breakout, whatever the point from where the flag got breaked, right? From there, you will see almost 2,650 points upside. So now I am not able to draw it above, but you can calculate it. So how we will calculate here? So here, this is the flag breakout right here from this candle. So 32700, right? You can add to 2,600 into that. So that goes almost 32700 and uh, 3 4 uh, it's almost, you can say, just a moment, 32700 plus 2660. So it shows us 35,360, right? So our target was 34,500. So in this situation, um, you can consider not exactly the X point, but 75% of it at least. So if you say that 75% of it at least means something near about 1800 to 2000 point upside. So this is what exactly happened. From 32,600, it went about till 33,800. So there is still chances that it should go around 34,000 till to 34,500, right? So this is the index check. And now here, if we see the weekly chart, in the weekly chart, you will see, let me remove the drawing. in the weekly chart you can see it is just going up and up. And here also, if you see the weekly chart, here also index is kind of exhausted. So now the high probability that next week the index will open 1 or 1.5% up, or 0.5% up and go up, and on the same day it starts sliding down, right? So it can touch the level of 34,000 or 34,500, and then it will start correcting slowly, or where it can relax the RSI bit, like that. So this is about Dow Jones, right? Still, we will say that the index has high probability to go up more. Now, where we will see the stop loss for this index, or how we will consider that now index has started its downtrend, right? So in this case, we can do the analysis on hourly chart, right? And we will find where are the most supports are present. Here, if you see, the good support is at 33,100 levels, right? Because here if you see the maximum the points which are connected, so those are at 33,100. So I would say 33,100 is the major support, and the first support is at this one, 33,300. So we will consider as support 1 at 33,300 and support 2 as 33,100. So let us see one more time, 33,350 and 33,150, right? So those are two support levels. So if the Dow Jones break the support 1, right, and it is going towards support 2, and from support 2 if it started again taking the upside, then again the index is on the upper side, right? Now where are the resistance for this? So in this way you can create your draw your own support and resistance, or find them, right? You can take a hourly time frame and you can derive from that. Now how we derive the target, that we all know, right? So uh, we derived based on the flag breakout, and these are psychological numbers, 34,000 and 34,500, and the resistance 3 is at 35,000. Okay, so this is for the Dow Jones. But what we understood from here, the index is still in bullish, right? Still bullish mode, bullish mode, right? So this was for the Dow Jones. Any query so far? I mean, how we identified the index support and resistance? Now we will do for Nasdaq. So so if you do your studies right one day before, or on the weekend, in the next week it's easy for you to see those levels, and from those support levels, if the index start bouncing up, you should find such kind of stocks who also went down with the index, and as index is start bouncing up, those stocks are also bouncing up, and then you can take the positions in those stocks, right? So now the second is the Nasdaq. So for the Nasdaq, if you see here, this I already drawn some days back, few days back. So here also for the Nasdaq, we mentioned that if it starts trading above 13,000, 13,400 levels and sustains, then 13,600 on the cards. This was on 329. So 329 is here, right? 329. We did analysis over here, right? But if you see here, this is kind of W pattern. It is started to evolve. If you see here, okay. Now how this is W pattern? If you see here, if you see, this is kind of W pattern here, right? And now it is trying to go up. Now it might go up one more time, and try to go towards its previous resistance, right? So let's clear it and draw the actual chart. Okay, so now here, if you see, if I draw the support and resistance, as you all know, we draw support and resistance with help of the highest point here. The highest point here is this one, right? Or you can take the hourly chart into the consideration. Okay, and here you will see the major points. Okay, so here the first level of major points I can see here, this one. Okay, these are the major points, and then I can see the one here. Okay, let me finish and then you can ask the question here, right? So why? Because I can see many points on horizontal levels. Okay, so this was the, and the third one is the final one, is the this one, the highest one. Okay, now if you make it as a day chart, you will see here RSI is not exhausted, right? It is almost at, you can say, 63%, still high chance, high probability to go up, right? But remember here, there are a lot of, you can say, gap up openings happened, right? If you see, there is one gap up here, the first gap up here, second gap up here, right? And then it start just going up. So I would say that there is high probability, okay, that index will go like, index has made this pattern, right? And now high probability that it can go till these levels. Okay, this is what I think. Okay, I might be wrong. It may come till this point and take a u-turn from there, or it may come to this point and take a u-turn from there, or it might face the resistance one more time. Okay, and go down, and might go down from here. But if it doesn't go down here, right, and go up, then you will see uh, one more big rally, right, like this. So we cannot predict, right, what will happen, but we know the levels, we have the price action, and the based on the price action we can derive, right, where it can go. So if you ask me, I would say the Nasdaq is still in the bullish territory at this point of time, and it might show us these levels: 30,970, 14,000, and 14169. So just make a note of them, and we will find the support as well. So resistance one for support one for the Nasdaq. Resistance one for the Nasdaq is 13,970. 13,917, 14,042, and 14,169. 14,040. So we can say resistance 2 is 14,040, and the third resistance is 14,160. 14,116. 60. Okay, so these are the three resistance levels which I can see. Okay, and now we will draw the support lines, right? That from where we think that Nasdaq will turn around. So this was the day chart. If you convert it into the weekly, then weekly chart also you will see the strong bull candle here, and the RSI is not exhausted on the weekly as well. It is still have a lot more chances to go up, right? And if you see here, there was one triangle pattern also there in the weekly chart. Okay, if you see here, see, this was the weekly breakout, you can see, and here this triangle got breaked out, and whatever the size of this triangle, it can show upside from that breakout point. So for example, if the triangle, if it has the price range from, you can say, this point to this point, right? So it says almost 1700 points. So Nasdaq has probability to go up 1700 points from here. So from where we will calculate 1700 points, we will calculate from here actual the breakout line from here 1700 points. So if you see here, so it is going much more than whatever we are expecting. So I mean, if you see here, this says like 13,280. So 13,280 plus we can consider as 75% of whatever it is showing here. So round about 1300 we can calculate here. Then Nasdaq has probability to go up till 14,580. So here the final is 14,580. Okay, so these are the level which we have drawn. And now here we need to identify the support, right? So for the support, if I want to calculate, find the support for Nasdaq, right? So what I'm going to do, I will convert it into the hourly first, right? And I would draw supports based on the points it is connecting. So first point of support I would calculate at, and the second is near about this point line. So for Nasdaq, I can see these are the two support levels. These are the minor support. Okay, I mean, if Nasdaq comes around those levels, then we should be buyer from here. For example, if Nasdaq is taking U-turn from here, and it takes support here, and then again U-turn from here, then we should be definitely a buyer here, right? So that's why we should know the support levels. So here, if I calculated, these are the two supports which I think. So why I'm not going to delete this? Okay, so here you can see the support levels. The one I calculated before, they were at this point and at this point, right? And there is major support at this point also. Alt H, 13,740, 13,600 and 13,413. These are the support levels from where Nasdaq can take U-turn as well, right? So let's note down the support levels. Okay, and before that, if
Rahul, could you explain how did you come up with these three support levels?
To draw these support levels, we need to find maximum, the points which are horizontally connecting to each other. So for example, this point, this one, right? And this one. From there, either stock started taking U-turn. From here, it stock started taking U-turn. Or from here, see here stock took major, rest. The index took rest here, like it made one candle up, one candle down, one up, one down, one up, one down, one up. So it was not going below this box, if you got my point. So that's why I calculated this as the strong support level,
Got it.
right?
Yeah,
So, or here also you can see this point. From this point, it went down. From this point, it went down, right? From this point, it went down. So these are the points, where the index is getting pressure, right? Here,
sure. Okay.
right? So
Yeah,
in this case, I would say the Nasdaq has good support at 13,600. Okay, so we will write two levels, 13,600 and 13,400. So let me mention here 13,600 and 13,400. Okay. 13,600 and 13,400. 600 and 13,400. Okay. These support levels are for what? If the index come to these support levels, we should be buyer from here. Okay. We should be buyer from these support levels because index is in bullish mode, right? As we see, as we saw. Now, when index will be in bearish mode, I mean, the index has given up. So those levels we already mentioned here, right? Third for the Nasdaq, uh, 12,900 is the level. If you guys follow me, you must be knowing that I mentioned so many times that index comes at 12,950 levels and just bounce from there. So this is that level. If you see from here, major time it goes up, right? If you see here, from here it went up, from here again it went up, from here went up, again it tried to come here and went up. It came down below this level, but on the day chart, what I say that it should break 12,900 on the closing basis, right? Hourly it goes down, doesn't matter. On the day, right, on the day chart it should not go below 13,800 900, right? One day it went for the 13,000 12,000 12,600, but immediately on the next day it start going up. So I would say still my levels are same for the Nasdaq. If Nasdaq starts trading below 12,900 950, that time we need to think that market is in the bearish mode. Okay, so support 3 is 12,900 12,950 turn around. All right, so this is for Nasdaq. And for the turn around for the Dow Jones, means index have given up. Now we will see the major correction like that. So for the Dow Jones, what level we mentioned here is 32,000, right? So for the Dow Jones, I would go here and 32,000. Okay, so let us go into hourly chart and we can see 32,000. So it's far below here, 32,000. Yes, here I can say that the Dow Jones has turned around story from here, right? So this is it, 32,000 here, right? If Dow Jones starts falling below 32,000 means we can see major correction in the market, right? So here I will mention as 32,000 turn around, right? So I would these two index we learned, right, how to do analysis of them. S&P 500 I will keep with you guys as homework. Okay, you can do your own analysis and draw your support and resistance levels like this, right? So whenever you get this kind of levels, right, you are comfortable to understand if the index is taking the support and trying to go up from there. For example, if index has crossed the first resistance 34,000 and on hourly chart it is just staying above that level, then high probability that it can go to the next resistance, right? Same with the support. If index is taking the first support but it is not trying to stay above that first support, it is still going below the first support, then high probability that it will go towards the next support. With this understanding, you can predict very well that where the market is heading towards. So this was with the market direction. So still bullish mode, both the index, right? So we should not be short seller here, or we should not be doing buying the puts here, right? Unless and until the levels are breached, right? Any questions
Like,
so far?
yeah, one question on the charting.
Yeah.
So for to find the support and resistance, you are using hourly chart, right?
Yes, I am using hourly chart. Why? Because
Uh,
for the index, I get many points,
mhm,
which are
mhm.
showing me the levels on the hourly chart.
Okay.
Sometimes I do a daily charting as well. Okay. But
Mhm, mhm.
sometimes you would not get good levels on the day chart. So for example, if
Okay.
you see the day chart on the Dow Jones, then you can see the
Mhm,
major points here.
mhm.
29,492 like this, right?
Okay.
If you want major good points, right?
Mhm.
See here also I can see, but I'm more comfortable when I do hourly analysis
Okay. Okay.
on those levels.
Okay. This applies to like stock as well, not only for indices.
Absolutely, it applies to stock
Yeah.
as well, right? But
Okay.
why we are
Okay.
doing hourly analysis? Because we are doing
Mhm,
a check, index check, that is for valid for next week, right? So whenever I
mhm,
post an index check, I
mhm.
post it for the next week, how we should play for the next week. And that's why we do the hourly charting. If we do the day time frame, then we are looking for the,
Mhm,
uh,
mhm.
longer time frame, right?
Okay.
For the
Okay.
next few weeks to few months. If you do the
Mhm.
weekly analysis, then it should be for the, uh, you can say
Long term.
medium term or long term,
Yeah. Okay.
right?
Okay.
All right.
Right. Yeah. So one more question, Rahul, if you don't
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
So is there a possibility like we might encounter different patterns if we use different time frames? Like if I use weekly and
Absolutely.
if I use daily.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So in that case, like which one we should be considering?
So I would say that, always rely more on hourly,
Okay.
30
Got it.
minutes and day.
Okay.
The most reliable is the day, medium
Mm-hmm.
reliable is hourly, and
Mm-hmm.
the half hourly is, you can say, below that,
Okay. Okay.
right?
Sure. Yes, sure.
So uh, I mean, this is a open forum. You guys can speak. You guys understood how we draw, support and resistance for this index. And the most important part is still remaining. That is drawing the trend line, right? So to draw the trend line, right? As I mentioned many times in my class, right? We need to select the lowest point and draw the trend line. If I select the lowest point from here, the trend line looks like this one, like this, right? So trend line says what? That's what I said, that Dow Jones, it has the long term support at 32,000. Now if you see here, if you understand what I'm trying to say here, Dow Jones took support from here, went up, support from here, went up, support from here, went up, take, went up, and it might come here to take a support, right? It might come here and take support from here, and then start going up from here as well. So if you say the perfect or good level to buy anything related to Dow Jones is, if it comes near 32,000 level, right? But 32,000 level is too far at this point of time. But you can see the RSI is also exhausted. So now the point is, on immediately, or you can say short term, the Dow Jones can make one upside from here, okay? And then whenever it start correcting, right, to cool off the RSI, definitely it is trying to go towards 32,000, and that time we should have cash ready to deploy, right? Because as we said, that market is still in the bull mode, right? We are not seeing price action is still saying that market is in the upside, right? And same with the Nasdaq. Okay, so this was the trend line we drawn. Now you can draw the trend line on hourly time frame as well, because this is the day time frame, right? uh, for to understand the what is the next week, how Dow Jones is going to perform, then if you want to draw the for the next week, then you can draw with this. You can see, you can find the major points from here. If I see, I can see the points from here, like this, you can see. So this is what I'm trying to explain you guys. See, for the daytime, if you see, the first support, the support is coming toward trend line support is coming towards here. But if you do the hourly analysis, then the support is coming toward here. And that is the key, right? See, this is the key. It came here, it took a support. Now see, if you know, if you learn, if you have gone through my classes, I always mention about the Sangam here, confluence, the horizontal and the trend line connecting each other. This confluence point is the best point from where we should take the position. If somebody is buyer here, then he definitely have got this many points. Now also now also it is going like this, it went up, and from here if it comes to this level, right, 33,300 and 33,150, this zone is also a best zone for the short term view. From here it can take a support and go up from here, right? So this is for the next week. So for the next week on coming Monday, Dow Jones started sliding down and it come toward these levels, right? 33,340 and 150, right? In this zone, then definitely we should be buyer in this zone, right? Because once it comes to those levels, it is definitely start going up from there. Because what is going to happen when it come down from here to here, RSI will get bit relaxed, and then again if it is still in bull mode, then again RSI starts going up, and then it will achieve our targets which you mentioned, right? So this was the trend line for Dow Jones, and let's draw for the Nasdaq. So if you guys didn't understand what I said, don't worry, because this training or this session I am recording, okay, and I am going to put this under the my channel. So I have created a new YouTube channel. I will try to upload there, and you can visit multiple times and understand why the thought process, why I use that thought process, how I draw the support and resistance, and uh, why I'm saying that it should go, in particular way. And disclaimer, I might be wrong. This is what I think or I understand, and we are doing this just for our, education and study purpose. So take your decision by your own, right? I would say, after going through this understanding, don't take any position, do a paper trade, try to understand whether these levels are working for you or not. And once you get the confidence, then start deploying your capital and book profit whenever you get a chance. So now if you see here, trend line is quite difficult here. Why? Because there is a steep rally. Clear my drawings. Here you will see it's a steep rally here, because steep rally means parabolic rally is happened here. As compared to Dow Jones, the Nasdaq rally is, uh, you can say, uh, see here, I cannot draw a trend line here, because the trend line, if I draw here, I have the points like this. So the same thing, as I mentioned, if the Nasdaq wants to correct, then it can correct up till this point. So for example, here, this is the trend line which we have drawn, right? Or see here, this is the trend line. So if we understand that if Nasdaq can give a turnaround, then the first point here, then up, then major swing here, then went up, and then it can come to this levels right here, or and start going up from here if it is in still bull mode. So for Nasdaq, 13,400 and 400, 13,400 and 13,500 is a good level, right? If Nasdaq breaks these levels and go down, then it can higher probability that it can come down till this point. And if it comes till this point, if it takes U-turn from there, then it's okay. If it doesn't take a U-turn from here and it goes down, then the market is in the bearish mode. All right, so this we did a trend line for the day chart. Now we can do the trend line analysis on the hourly chart and understand what it says. So this was the day chart, hourly, this trend line for the uh, day time frame. If hourly time frame we want to consider, then also we are not getting good levels, because how I will draw. I will draw like this one. So this is like parabolic up move, right? Or the second trend line I can draw like this one, like this, right? So but which is the good trend line, to index go up higher? This trend line is the best trend line, because this is kind of this is kind of 45-degree, right? If we draw the axis, right, this is the axis, right, x and y. This is the 90-degree here, right, and this is 0 here. So this is 45, right? So when the stock is trading on the 45, right here, like this, then it has high probability to go up so fast, like this. So now this is in this level, right? Here also it's took the support, went up. From here again, it might take go up like this, right? And then again, take support from there and go up, right? So now the support it will take the support to the resistance which we drawn, which we calculated, right? So those will be the support levels, and then it will go up from there. So this all says that conclusion is that index is in the bull mode, so we should not be a seller. If there is a dip, we should be buyer here. This is what I think. Okay, and you do your own analysis, and if you get the confidence there, then you can take your decisions. All right, so with this I have drawn this, and many of you asked me the question about Fubo, that how you uh, calculated Fubo that it will go up, right? So with this I just want to discuss about Fubo here. So what happened with the Fubo, right? I analyzed Fubo like this, okay, here. So what happened till now? Everyone is clear? Can you just give me a confirmation on the chat window? You guys found this interesting, or it is helping here? All right, so here if you say now why we chose Fubo, if you see Fubo has um, you can say erratic moves. The first it started from, if you see, okay, let me draw of let me see the week. Okay, now it's good. Okay, now it's good. So Fubo, if you see, Fubo was in the one range. Okay, if you see, the Fubo was in the one range for the long time, right? Then it started spiking up from there, and then if you see, the before here volume was so low, right? And then from here the volume started spiking up 2 to 3 times, right? Then stock started making up moves from here, right? And then the volume spiked, the stock made parabolic up move, right? And then stock started sliding down immediately. The way it went up, it started the way it it started going down the same way. So here one more thing, if there is any parabolic move in the stock like this, right, like this, not 40-degree 45-degree, it's like near about 90-80-degree, then high probability to fall down in the same way. Okay, this is what I understood while doing my analysis. So here Fubo made this up, this down, then again it started going up, right, then going down, and then it went up. and after that continuously it started falling down. Okay, so here it started continuously falling down, and I spotted it yesterday. What happened? If you see here, the RSI was oversold, right? RSI was near about 30, 32, right? And now what happened? Let me draw here. Let me go near here, right? We made a position yesterday here, right? On 8th of April. Now, why we made position here on the 8th of April? If you see, it has a very good support at $20. Why? If you see the VIX, it took support at 20, right? And then went up. I mean, it made wick here, but it never closed below 20, right? It closed here on this day. It came near 20, but closed above, well above it. It came to 20 here, touched 20, but closed above, right? Again, it one day it came near 20 and closed above, right? On this day, it came near 20 and closed above, right? But what happened? After market hours, it suddenly spiked up to $22, right? Here, $22. And then I predicted that it is going to move higher because there was a lot of volume. If you see the hourly chart, see here, that day it closed at here, that day 9th April at 1 p.m. it closed at 20.56. Okay, so what I did, I just drawn the trend line here. Okay, this is the, I can say the secret. I'm telling you guys what is the secret behind taking that, position. So what happened, if I draw a trend line like this, right here, right, or you can say like this. Okay, so what happened, this trend line got broke because after market hours it was trading around 22. That is nothing but here, right? This is the 22 line, right? Means what? It broke the trend line, right? And it started trading at 22. At 1:30 or 2 p.m. I said that, I would buy Fubo. So let's see where I mentioned. So this is nothing but the thought process I'm telling you. If you see here, I mentioned it at 2:30, 2 p.m. Okay, this was the 2 p.m. here, and at 2 p.m. if you see, that was trading above this level. And how I calculated the next support and next resistance points based on purely the horizontal resistance points. And I mentioned two levels that it would go towards uh, it would go toward 23.5 and 25.5. It went up to 25.2. It went high, it made high of 20 25.30, right? So from 22 to 25.20 we got, very good profit there. And you see the volume, the breakout happened, and it opened with a good volume, right? On the next day also it opened at 22 and it started trading, with a good volume. And then it reached our both first target of 23.5, and the second target was just missed by 0.20 points. But you cannot book profit always at exact given point. Some percentage here and there, whenever you see, you just book and come out of it. We cannot wait for that exact number and miss the profit, right? So that was the thought process behind it. Still I am bullish on Fubo. Why? Because if you see the, if you see the chart here, hourly chart, see, this is hourly chart. I picked the high, and if you see, it is still trading above this level, right? Here if you see, it is making spinning tops or doji patterns. It is not going below 22.50. When it starts going below 2023, the buying is coming in, and that's why you are seeing the VIX here, right? So uh, high probability that if it holds this 22.50 levels, right, if it holds very well this 22.50 levels, then high probability that it can go towards 25.80 one more time. Okay, and if it stays very well above that, then Fubo can go around 29, right? This is the 29 level which I have drawn. High probability that it can go 29 or $30. Why? Because it is extremely oversold. Now this all I am talking about technical terms. Okay, I don't know anything about fundamentally how this stock or whatever. We are purely doing a technical analysis. And the most important point is RSI is too low, and the second important point is volume is very high, guys. If you see, this is the most important point to understand. Volume is very high. If you see, as compared to the all other volumes, this volume is very high, right? And that's why I see the high probability that the stock can go up more. But that doesn't mean that I will take position in the options and I will put more money onto the stake, right? I should take a calculated risk and take a position where my stop loss will be near around $20. If it starts trading below $20, right, then I should close my position, and that too on the day chart. I mean, on the day chart, if it start closing or start if it close below $20 like this, okay, this candle, okay, so it closed below $20 for here, right? Then also we will be not closing the position, right? We will be the closing position on the next day. We will see how it opens and how it is going. If it opens below 20, right, but it starts going up and close well above 20, like 21, 22, then also we should be still in the position. But on the next day it's opened below 20, and on hourly chart it is going down and down and down, then that time we will book our loss, right? So this is the method I use for stop loss, and it worked very well for me so far. So so this stock which I wanted to mention you guys, and we will keep Q&A, right, in next 15 minutes. Just I want to show you guys my setup. So this was my one of the setup. My setup is very simple, right? If you are more interested in doing technical analysis, keep two watch list. First is the index, where you should always see the index, right? And the second is the stocks which you like. So what I do, uh, whenever I do trading, I first open the index. I see where index is showing, right, which how much percent, right, and hourly chart what it is saying that yes it is going up, right, price action says. Then I immediately go to the US market, and I do a sort by max percentage up, right, the stock who is up by max percentage, right? And then I start analyzing each stock, right? So guys, here I want to tell you that I am doing lot of manual work. I don't do uh, I don't use any software, okay, because I still believe in keep it simple and stupid, right? I don't want to trade so many times, okay? I take one trade, but that should be giving me a good profit, right? So in this way, I manually see the stocks, right, like this, and I draw the levels, right? And whenever I see that potential upside in any stock, right, for example, that day I was doing analysis on the index, and Fubo after market hours gave me uh, it shown that it is trading about at $22, right? Then I took the position on that based on this drawing which I did. And same happened with the square. see, for the square, I did the hourly analysis, and what I did, square I mentioned in the chart group here. Are you using any gap scanner? No, I am not using any gap scanner as of now. I still doing manually. So here, if you see, somebody asked me that any buy based on the chart from this week. So I did 30-minute analysis, okay, here, and I saw that the on from the support level, stock has given a breakout, right, on the triangle pattern. So it gave a breakout at 47.83, and where is the triangle start, right? This start point will be my target. So here is the triangle start, right? This X point will be my target, right? And the stock went above 255. So from 247 to 255, 260 levels it gave us. Now you can see here. So this was hourly chart and 30-minute chart I drawn. 247 from here. Actually, this was the chart. Okay. So what it did, it broke this rectangle pattern. Okay. So how it is rectangle pattern here? This is the rectangle pattern. Okay. Now rectangle, this rectangle. Okay. It broke this rectangle, right? With good volume here, it broke. And so whatever is the size of that rectangle, you can see that it can go up from there, or you can see that multiple patterns created there, or you can say the flag pattern is also there. This is kind of flag continuation pattern here. From here it's a flag continuation, or I can say, see here, it created one flag. Just see, okay, from here it created one flag breakout. So you will see many of these breakouts on hourly, half hourly charts, and you can understand, you can clearly see how it's nicely achieve its target. If you see here, that flag breakout was happened here, that exact X point, it made here. Do you guys agree with me or not? Just give your confirmations. Now here also it is making this kind of flag. If it again break up from here, then definitely it will go more upside like this. So upside, and then consolidation, and then the breakout, see here, upside. So now if you see the characteristics of the square, then you know how the square is behaving nowadays. This is consolidation. Okay, just a moment. Con- Consolidation, upside, consolidation, upside. Now consolidation at the upside, again upside. Now if it is doing a consolidation here, and if it breaks out, then again it will give a one major upswing. So square is the very nice example. This pattern is getting repeated, guys. Can you see? First time, second time, third time, the fourth time. If it breaks 60 to 64 levels, then definitely it will go more high. So let's see what it says. If it breaks like this, right? So you should be, your drawing should be already done for, the stocks which you are interested in. What I am suggesting, don't trade many stocks. Trade, which you like and which you giving the pattern, repetitive patterns, and then just trade on them. So if you see here, don't you guys think that if it breaks here, then you should be a buyer there, because the pattern is getting repeated. The first, the second, this was the third, right, the breakout. Now this is the fourth one in the making. If it breaks here, it makes candle like this here, you should be buyer here, right? If it stays above 264, 265 levels, right? And with the good volume, see here, this upswing, see the volume, this upswing, see the volume, right? So volume, I give a lot of importance, guys, right? This upswing, volumes. Now, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, if it starts trading about 224 level, and on the 30 minutes time frame, if it is giving a good green volume, definitely you should be buyer here, or I should be buyer here. All right. So this is my setup. Currently I am using. Okay. So, and I focus more major. Okay. And here there is one more important thing, that the RSI is, was exhausted before, and RSI is kind of, cooling off, right? It might go more down. If it goes down from here, then you should not be buyer, because it is breaking this. If it goes down from here, then the X from here, this X, it will correct till this X, right? And then if you find a good support, it has good support, this is the good support now. So square, if it corrects, it goes down from 248 level, it start going up, then also you can be a buyer here. All right. So this is my setup, and do more practicing, right? Try to identify the patterns here in the stocks, and once you are, successfully start, you find, patterns there, then uh, you know it will be easier for you to, make the create the positions. Okay. So let's go to the part where somebody have asked me some question. Is there any indicator required apart from support, resistance, and trend line drawing? As of now, I just use support, resistance, trend line, RSI, volume, and price action. Price action is nothing but the candles, right? Bullish engulfing, bearish engulfing, uh, Marubozu candle, right? These kind of candles, price actions, I I use, right? What is the time frame to be used for the charting? So as I said, if you want to take a position for, 1 day to, 1 week, then 30 minutes and 1 hourly is good. If you are looking for a swing trade where, 1 week to 3 weeks, then I would recommend you recommend you two time frames, hourly and day time frame, right? So here I would say 30 minutes and 1 hour for short term, right? And 1 hour and 1 day for swing trade, and 1 day to 1 week for medium to long term. This is my setup. Is there indicator required apart from support, resistance, trend line drawing? No, this is the same question, I think. All right.
So Rahul, one question on this one.
Yeah.
When you say 1 day, 1 hour, right? The length of that charting should be 1 year, or I remember like you were mentioning in your
Very good
training
question.
session was 1 year.
Yeah, very good question. So for day chart, you can see 1 year, right? See, it's not compulsory that, how far you should go, but you go to the point where the current price action is there, right? So for example, if you talk about the square, 261 is the current uh, stock price, right? Then you should have the range where, uh, the stock was trading. See, for example, if it is trading at 260, right? If you go back 2 years, okay, 2 years, 2020, this range is useful for you? I would say no, right? Because your
Yeah.
stock is trading higher, right? So which range
Yeah.
is useful for you? For you, this range is useful. Are you agree with me?
Yeah.
Right? If this range is useful for you, then just start scrolling till you come to that range, right? For you now range is this one, right? So So you should come till this section. Now,
Okay.
the benefit of that is that you can see the clear price actions, right? Big candles, and you can analyze in the nice way, and you can find the crisp points there. Got my point? And same
Yeah,
with the
got it.
hourly chart, right? If whatever is your price, if it is price action, the history is near till you go back till the level where history is near, 10 to 15% upside or downside from that price action,
Okay.
price point.
Okay. Got it.
All right, there was one more question. Uh, what is the time frame you are used for charting that we discussed? Can technical analysis be viewed as identifying majority people mindset on that particular stock? That we already seen, right, in the square itself, right? What is the majority people is doing right now, right? That we already see that they it go up, then start, you can say uptrend, then you can say consolidation, right? So after making uptrend, small traders are booking the profit, but again, it is making upside, right? So with this, we can identify that what people are doing at this point of time, right? How they are playing this stock, right? So this we identified. And the next question is, now see, this we can see each stock has its own characteristics, right? We identified that price action in this stock, right? Other stock will give you different, you can say different different price action, or you can say a different pattern, right? So each stock gives different type of pattern. So if you try to understand the what type of pattern it is giving, then it's easier for you to take a position. So if you see here, if you see 1 hourly chart, here it made a big candle, and then it made a consolidation or small moves, right? And then again made a big candle. Again here it made a consolidated up moves, then a big candle. Again here it might make, this consolidation candles, and then up move. So either you can buy at the support, or you can buy at the breakouts. So these two choices you have, either buy at the support or at the breakout. Yes. Now the question is, the past 6 months has been very unpredictable. We were expected market correction, when all of the sudden it became extremely bullish. For time frame, should we go before a year for any case? So see, if you say market is always unpredictable, right? But the price points tell us that from where we should go, because see, this is all about the probability, right? If your probability, your indicators, suppose you have in the your set of 5 indicators, if 4 indicators are showing upside, right, then definitely the stock or index will go up, right? Whatever market is predictable or not predictable, price action says us that yes, it is going up, right? The setup says it is going up, then we should believe on that. We should not believe on any news or any other information. As I said before, I just keep it simple and stupid. If somebody says it is going down, if somebody says it will consolidate, but my setup says that, boss, here is the breakout, and it can go this many percent from here, then definitely I will be buying. I always, you know, focus on the percentage. If I get 5 to 10% on any stock, I'm more than happy, and I book profit. And all the free shares which are there, I just keep them, running there. How you find which stock to get in when Nasdaq or Dow Jones in a uptrend, as not all stocks move same as the index? This is nice question. So because if you need to do a kind of small analysis, right? Here you need to google it, like Dow 30 stocks, right? So here you will see these kind of stocks. Okay. So here you have, see, American Express, Apple, Boeing, Cat, right? So CRM. So I don't trade in all of them. See here also the favorism is there. So I like CRM. So if Dow Jones goes up, I always buy CRM, right? I a few days back I mentioned CRM will go up, and it just went up. In one of my group, I trade in. Uh, you need to pick your own, the one which you like, or where you can see that you are easily catching up the patterns. For example, I trade in Apple, Boeing, right? Here is a Dow INC. I don't know this symbol, but if it's a Dow Jones representative, then definitely one should trade in Dow. Okay, so Apple, Boeing, and then I trade in uh, Microsoft is there, CRM is there. So majorly I trade in CRM. Disney is there, United Health Group is there. So not all stocks, 5 to 6 stocks I focus and I trade on them. And same way the list with the Nasdaq 100, right? You can find Nasdaq 100 stocks, and you can take trades on them. So here also Apple is there, Microsoft, Amazon, Tesla, Facebook, right? So I trade on Apple is there, Microsoft is there, Amazon is there, Tesla, Facebook is there, right? And then I trade on uh, PayPal, I trade on Netflix, Adobe, uh, Micron, AMD, right? So this is the big list, but as I said, I trade on, not on all, and then I trade on Baidu, ADSK, like that. So Baidu is also good example, where it gave us very huge return. If some of you have followed Baidu uh, when I mentioned Baidu. So let's take a look on Baidu here quickly. So when I mentioned Baidu, then that time it was oversold, and on the 30 minutes time, sorry. So Baidu, when I recommended, I don't remember, but Baidu gave us the good profit there. Maybe I need to see, right? So this way I do analysis. I do my own analysis. You can also do your own analysis in that way. Just one information, that whenever index is down or going down, try refrain yourself to buyer there, right? So an index is going up, go with the trend. Trend is your friend. All right. So any more question here? Uh, what are some of the ETFs that follow these indices where we can take positions? So Karthik, I don't trade on ETF. So you can ask the question on the forum, and you can get the answer from there. So this is the simple setup I use, and yep. So that's all. I hope you guys understood whatever I mentioned here, and if anyone has any question, feel free to ask.
Rahul, do you trend based on the volume of the day? Like if any stock
Yes.
having a
Absolutely.
highest volume, and how you identify those?
Yeah, so
Do you
there is a scanner, to find the volume. The scanner you can see here, you can use that scanner. Someone has mentioned in the TOS hacks. Okay, here there are scanners. You can use them. They are, they give me, you know, there is one scanner which was given. Found some scanners to us may be useful. Not this one. There was one given by. Who is this guy? Vijayan. Yes, these scanners, guys. Okay. So let me post this. Okay. Just a moment. Use this scanner. Okay. Uh, Options, unusual
all
activity. Good.
all these are different one or same?
No, no, no. All these are different one. But the one which I use, I cannot see here, or this might be here, but I don't know the exact one. But let me ping all these scanners here. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Do you use TOS or
Yeah, I used think or swim. Okay, so what do you have to do? So for example, good volume open interest, if you click here, right, open an account, good volume. So it should go to DD Ameritrade scan query. Okay, I need to select this one. Okay, now I don't remember how I need to take that. Oh, okay, view in. Okay, view in think or swim. Okay, you put it here, open think or swim. Okay, and in think or swim, you will see that. Okay, here. So I clicked on view think or swim, and it is
I
loading
think
there.
else we can copy that URL and we can click
Yeah,
on the
yeah, you
setup.
you click on
Yeah.
that URL. Okay, it will show you that view in think or swim. When you click on think or swim, keep think or swim open on your desktop, right, or laptop,
Okay.
and there it will get loaded. Right now it is loading there. Okay, uh, now I don't know why it is running like this, but once you click there, and then you need to click on import button. Once you click on import button, then it will get imported, and you need to put the name of that, and then you can see there. I want to show you right now, but I don't know why it is still running like this, or I could have shown you, but you can use all these scanners. Okay, and whenever there is on the high volume it is showing. When you see, good open interest volume, take that stock, put it into think or put it into trading view and do the analysis, and definitely you will see that there is breakout or something is happening, and you will catch that stock at the right, mm, you know right level, and you can ride from there. So thanks for reminding that. Scanner will be useful, to identify the good open interest volume. As I mentioned so many times, that volume is a very important factor which I use for my analysis.
Rahul? Do you also consider RSI when you trade on the volume, like if the volume
Absolutely,
break?
absolutely. If, but sometimes if volume is very high, okay,
Mhm,
and RSI is also high. For example, let's consider scenario where volume is very high. For example, any stock, okay, for example,
mhm.
Square, volume is very high, RSI is moderately high, like above 60 per 60, but there is a breakout, right, as I'm shown you, right, triangle breakout or
Mhm.
rectangle breakout, then I will keep volume aside and I will take the position, because there is a huge breakout,
Okay.
right? So if there is a breakout, right, with huge green volume, green candle, and volume is high, then there is high probability that stock is not going to stop there. So what I will do there, I will buy 50% on the breakout. Okay, and let me tell you one very important thing. Whenever there is a breakout, two things happens. After breakout, stock, first thing is stock will go more high. The second scenario, after breakout, stock will start correcting till the point where the breakout started, right? So what we need to do here, we need to be a buyer always on the breakout. Okay, but how many quantities we will buy? Suppose if you want to buy 100 quantities, you should not buy 100. That time you should buy only 50 quantities, right? And when after breakout, if the stock goes down, right, it corrects toward the point where it from where it broke out, right? And again take you position from there, you turn from there, then you buy next 50 there. So okay, let me, I want to show you actually. Just a moment, guys. I don't know why this is showing this. Can you see on my screen? There's something is circling there. Do you have any
I
idea?
think we can still see the this TOS web
Yeah, but
browser.
can you see the something is going round and round?
No.
Okay, all right. So what I'm trying to say here, okay, let's see here. For example, if something is trading like this, right, like this, okay, like this, and if there is a breakout, right, this is the breakout, and this is the flag, for example, right? So we have the target side, the X quantity, the X point, right? From here, it might go here, right? So what we are going to do, we should be buyer on the breakout, right? 50 stocks, right? Now, after this breakout, there are two possibilities. Either it will go up on the next day straight away, or it will correct toward the till the point where the candle started its journey, right? Like this. It will come down till here. And from here, if the breakout is genuine, right, with a good volume, right? Volume is good, right here. This is volume. Volume is good, and the RSI is also, okay. And from here, if it takes U-turn, then you should buy your 50 stocks here. So you bought in the two way, one at the breakout candles high, and one the breakout candles low, all right, or midway of it. So this strategy one should use. So this is kind of averaging happened, and from here you will get the a good upside. You got my point?
Yeah. Thank you.
Do you have a watch list for the next week to monitor, like Fubo, Neo? It's not like a watch list, but as I said that see, Neo, Fubo came into my volume shocker list, right? The volume shocker means the scanner where it shown me that there is a lot of volume happening. Let me open. So I don't know why I am not able to open anything here. Okay, all right. Clear my drawings, and okay, something has happened with that browser. Actually, I wanted to show you guys Think or Swim, but somehow, okay, yes. So Think or Swim is opened, right? So here, nowadays, if you see, can you see the Think or Swim screen?
Yes.
Right. So here, if you see, right. So here, when you do the scan, right, in the scan, okay, here, here, the watch list, personal, see, options, good volume, that the one which I clicked there, it got loaded here, right? It got loaded here, and what it will do, it will give me all the stocks under that, right, on that day. Now market is closed, that's why I'm not able to see, and I don't know how I do a time, what you can say, uh, go back into the history, but this is what the method I use. What I do, okay, so now all the list is there, right? All the different kind of scanners there, right? So if you are interested more in the volume, so take this scanner, right? Options, good, open interest, volume, right? So when you click on this watch list on that day, right? Suppose in the morning, if I open this software, I clicked on that watch list, then all the stocks who are having good volume on that day, right? Based on the criteria which was mentioned, they will shown here. Now those stocks you need to take and simply go into the trading view and put them. Okay, we will put them where? We will put them here on the US index, right? Because you want to trade them or you want to focus them on that day, right? For example, on that day you saw that Fubo has good volume. Click on Fubo. Now it will help that you will see that index is going up, right? And Fubo is also going up. So that will help you to analyze index and stock together. That index is going up and now the stock is also showing, upside or showing me some breakout patterns. And then you can take the position there. I hope you understood what I'm trying to say here. Take the stock from the scanner, add it into the index watch list, because already you have done the analysis on the index and you are seeing how index is going working on that day, and then analyze the stock. Or you can put the stock and index like this, if the stock is from the that particular index, for example Apple is from the Nasdaq index, take both side by side and see that both are showing the same, both are working, both are doing the same things, right? For example here, if both are doing the same things on that day, right, on 30 minutes time frame, right, and then you can easily take your positions there. See, on that day, this is one more way to compare the stock with the index and then take the position there. Before we go, guys, any question related to any stock? I can quickly see one or two stock if you want, and we can make a hard stop. I think it's almost 2 hours we are talking.
Rahul, if you can also share your exit plan, how you decide, like, you have a fix or you go exit plan based on the trend line, how you decide the exit plan.
Exit plan is also the same, okay, as I mentioned there. Okay, let me show you one more time. So for example, if I analyzed Fubo, right, Fubo, we can take the latest example, Fubo. Fubo is here, right? For example, Fubo, okay. So what we have mentioned, this is the our axis, okay. This is $20 level, right? And Fubo was continuously trading into the downtrend, right? As we mentioned there, okay. And sorry, now we have drawn the trend line that is continuously trading down, right? On one day it started, after hours or on that day itself it started going up, right? And it broke the trend line. We are buyer here, right? 50 stocks we bought here, for example. Now we said that after breakout also, if it goes near the that candle's low, right? For example, here it's at $20, here it's at $21, right? The low is, and here the candle's high is 22. You bought at 22, and now it went down towards 21 or 21.20 and started going up from there. For example, 22.21.30, right? So you bought at the two price range. One is 22 and other is 21.30, and your stop loss is at 20, right? So I'm giving you guys my exit strategy, okay? So from here, okay, if stock starts going up, then we are good. We know our levels and we should book our profit there. We should not be more greedy. At least you should take out your original capital, right? If you are more greedy, just take out the original capital and let the free shares or whatever is the profitable amount, from that amount you buy the shares and just keep them open where they want to go, right? Now this was the profit uh, strategy. Now stop loss strategy is what? Whenever I take any position, I keep stop loss on closing basis, okay? And that is not on the machine. The stop loss is in my mind, right? So now when the stocks, now what is the stop loss? $20, right? So what I'm going to do on the day, on any day, if stock starts trading below $20, right? On the hourly time frame, right? And by before end of the day, right, the stock made this kind, right, this. So this is kind of spinning top or doji. That means what? Stock went down till $19, right, throughout the day, but it was managed to close about $20, right? If you have attended my session, you will come to know this is the doji or spinning top, right? It managed to close about $20, right? So we are still good. Again next day it went down till here, right? Or you can say it opened here below $20. It opened, right? On this day it opened below $20, but throughout the day it just went up and it made this kind of candle, green candle. Then also my stop loss is not hit because I want it to be close below $20, right? Now on the next day it opened at, for example, $23 at high, but it went down and closed below $20. Okay, for example, it closed at here $19, right? Now here only one risk I take, that I do not close on this day as well. I will wait for the next day, because next day also, sometime what happens, they weak traders, they want weak traders to go out from that position, right? They fear out and they just go out from the position. So what they do, next day it makes a gap up opening from here, for example 20.50, and starts trading up, right? So still I would say that stock is still not closed below my stop loss. Now instead of this, okay, instead of this, on the next day if it opened below $19, and throughout the day in next 1 hour it is going down, right? I don't want to book my loss near $15, right? I need to see that on the next day it has opened well below $20, and in first 30 minutes or 1 hour it is start going down, then I will book somewhere 19 or 18.5, whatever it is. Okay, my stop loss is 20, I know, but I am booking it below than that, because I don't want to be part of the weak traders or investors who are, you know uh, whom the big fishes wants to get out from the position. I hope you got the point which I'm trying to say here,
Got it, Ram. Yeah.
right? So this is that. Tesla analysis, this analysis, please, if possible, as it seems at support. Okay. So, guys, it's almost 2 hours and 20 minutes we are talking. I would do Tesla analysis and this analysis. Okay. Uh, Whenever I get a chance, and I will post it in the Discord. I hope you don't mind.
Rahul, all these strategies is applicable for both the stock trading as well as option trading, right?
Option trading is also right, but as you know that, right, sometimes stocks, if they don't act, if they don't go up in the stipulated time frame, then your option premium will get decayed, right?
Right.
So
Yes.
you need to select such kind of stock there, if there is a potential that it should go up on a less time frame, then only you will be uh you will get benefit with the options.
Okay. Thank
right? Yeah. So the nowadays I am getting I am playing in the futures, right? And if you see, I just want to show you the simulated trading, right? Here if you see, I made almost more than 20%, right? This is a virtual money, which I use to show. uh, See, for example, here I'm sitting on $22,000 profit, and these are all the trades which I did. So I want to highlight here that your losses should be small and your profit should be bigger. So if you see the mini Nasdaq 100, right? The loss was $201, $261. But if you see the profitable trades, $8,000, $4,000, $13,000, $9,000, like that. Not 9,000, but overall the profit you will see it's almost $22,000 on the account of 120, 100 and I don't remember exactly, but the account they give as 100K they give us, I think, right? And from that 100K, I made it 137. Oh no, they gave us somewhere $125,000, like that. I don't remember, but $22,000. I made a profit just trading on those levels. Okay, this is paper trading, by the way, simulated trading. So I just followed those support and resistance levels, and made the positions in the Dow Jones. Right, for example, this is YM is Dow Jones, and NQ is Nasdaq, and MNQ is Nasdaq Mini. This is the kind of futures. So right now I do that in my own trading account as well. So these are the things which we can do. All right, guys. So I think it's time to wind up the session here. I hope it benefited. It might have benefited to you all.
Thank you,
And
Rahul. It was
yeah.
Thank you, Rahul.
wonderful session.
Rahul, can you share your YouTube channel details, please?
Yeah, so this I am going to upload it on my channel, right? And my this YouTube channel is the new one, actually. This is the first video I'm going to upload there, and then regularly I will try to upload my analysis on that channel, and I will share that YouTube channel in our Discord group.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Rahul.
All right, I hope it benefited to you all. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Please also share the scanners. The scanners is in the TOS hacks page, okay, in the Discord. You can go there and you can see. In Discord, if you go, log in with your ID and select TOS hacks, and there you will get it. All right. Or I will post one more time there. All right, guys. I'm closing the session now.
Thank you, Rahul. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.